Babymetal. Babymetal. Makes me think of, like, that we now have metal children. Like, there are 2- and 3-year-olds that have been given musical instruments, or at least had, you know, musical instruments dubbed over, like, their cuckoo caca, you know, word thingies, you know. So all of a sudden I'm going to play the music and it's going to be like... If that's the case, then I'm turning this off in 15 seconds. But I'm seeing that these people are a little older than that. I also feel like I'm watching, like, the strangest anime in history. Don't know much about this, but you want me to talk about it, so let's find out. That's what you're worried about? You're concerned about that? You're concerned about that? Why? Because it's selling? Because it's doing well? Because it kept Carnifex from getting #1 on iTunes? Who cares about iTunes? Alright. Alright. Aside from me feeling like I just watched the weirdest visual manga in the history of visual manga, aside from the fact that I'm fairly certain that those 3 don't have a collective age, an average age of 15. And they've been doing this for a couple years, which means that they were doing this as like 11-year-olds. And aside from the fact that I can understand some arguments, I don't see the problem with that. That sounds like fun. Doesn't sound like something I'm going to listen to every goddamn day of my life. But it also doesn't sound like something that I'm going to concern myself and lose sleep at night thinking that metal's in trouble based around Babymetal. All that I see here is that there are 3 girls in this group. They have a backing band that plays heavy metal riffs that have some electronic property to them, merging a little bit of J-pop in with the heavy metal scene. And they're dancing around and singing essentially J-pop stuff and then screaming every so often. And they're dancing. They're dancing in ways that I have not seen ever since I was a junior high school student myself, and I was watching the cheerleaders at my school whenever I was at the age in which things were starting to happen. And now I was paying attention to these cheerleaders with a little bit more of a dedication as opposed to whenever I was a lot younger. If I were into this kind of thing, I could be kind of hard right now. I could be turned on. I'm not, but I can understand that I could be. I don't really get why this is something that really is not only taking the world by storm. Well, I kind of get it because it's a unique idea and it's like flash in the pan like Size Gentleman or Gangnam Style or, you know, Rebecca Black's Friday, blah, blah, blah. This is really something I feel is not going to last all of that long. The allure will quickly wash itself away from the visual spectrum. But I also get why people like this as opposed to the other things that I just mentioned, because this has a little bit of cohesion and fun to it as opposed to the other ones just having a high level of obnoxiousness to it. That said, it's also a very visual spectacle. It's something that also has been sweeping Japan by storm. It's something that's starting to infect other portions of the world. It's something where their album, which just was released, actually met the Heatseekers chart at number 187 on that motherfucking chart, if I remember correctly. Maybe 189, and I was just going for the joke. But either way, I really don't see what the hell's wrong here. I mean, there's one argument that I can hear. There's one argument that I can definitely see popping up a lot. But Cover Killer Nation, if you accept this, if you let this happen, that means that metal's in trouble. Because now everybody who listens to Babymetal is going to feel that if they make music like this, they're in a metal band. Oh no! Oh my god! I don't think that's going to happen. Fuck. Now I'm looking at all the young people who listen to heavy metal, who are listening to all the little bands that aren't really heavy metal, but are heavy enough where they think that they're heavy metal, and they're staring at the fucking frontman like, he's a dreamy and he talks all about my emotions and feelings, and he's gonna be my husband one day. And now I kind of get it. Now I understand why some of you are just a tad concerned. I get that. They're going to think that this is something they can do and it's okay. And it's going to be metal and that's going to be what metal's going to be. No, it's not going to be what metal's going to be. Think of all the crops that we have. The metal is safe. Let these girls have their time. You know, let these girls have this. Seriously, this is something where we're talking about Japan, which is a cultural powerhouse, something that has various different elements of artistry that are, you know, borderline ridiculous, but they're visually awesome. And let's also bring something else into this. Avril Lavigne just did a music video for a song called Hello Kitty that had Oriental individuals in the background that looked like they did not want to be there. They looked like they wanted to destroy Avril Lavigne, like they wanted to grip her by her head and slash her throat or force her to perform seppuku on the video track. They looked awful. They looked terrible. They looked like they didn't want to be there. Now replace those individuals with these three who are happy and bouncing around and dancing around and having a great time, and maybe that video becomes a little bit more appealing. But I would think that Babymetal themselves would witness the spectacle that's going on, originally think it's fun and a good time, but that by the end of that, they would want to stab Avril Lavigne. Babymetal is not a problem, ladies and gentlemen. Babymetal is not a problem. And I'll give you 3 reasons why. 1, has anything come out since then that remotely senses that there is some sort of cultural takeover coming on with this kawaii metal, this cute metal? No. Secondly, this is something that bred from an idol search type thing that combined 2 things, and unlike our idols, they actually threw metal in there and it was okay. You're never going to see that on American Idol. You're never going to see that on America's Got Talent. You're never going to see that on The Voice. You're never going to see that here. So shut up. If it happened here, then I could understand me being a little bit more angry about it, because that's kind of just blah. But it never happens here. It's glorified pop and country. There's no diversity on those shows. That's why they suck. And that's why all you ignorant idiots that actually watch them are dumb. Thirdly, and finally, they're fucking 15 years old and just having a good time, and they just happen to be, you know, having a good time while also being relatively popular. Metallica went to one of their concerts. Now, if you're thinking that that's a reflection of what Metallica's all about, stop yourself from breathing. Being in a band means that you can essentially do whatever you want. You still have the freedom to go to whatever show you want. If they want to go to a Babymetal concert and enjoy themselves, if they want to witness the spectacle, let them. Don't bring this about Metallica. Don't bring this also about Babymetal. Do I like that? Do I prefer that? Is that something I'm going to listen to every day? No. I'm not going to listen to that every day. I might never listen to it again, to be perfectly blunt with you. Am I absolutely enraged by the fact that this happened? Am I pissed off? Do I feel that metal is in jeopardy and then this is going to be what infects our next generation of metal? No, I'm not fucking concerned about that. Please, just pull the plug on all your mass hysteria for a moment and let the girls have a little bit of fun. Let them have a career and let's see what happens. Let's see how it goes. Let's see what this turns into. This may be the last time we ever hear of Babymetal, or they may release an album next year that blows the fuck up. You don't know. But if we're getting all hysterical about Babymetal, then we are really, really channeling all of our energies in bad places. Places where we need not be worried. We need to worry more about the cultural scene that we have here in America. We need to worry more about breeding some true metal bands here. Either that, or at least something that showcases a little bit of goddamn diversity and a little bit of goddamn creativity. That's the one thing I will say about that. That's creative. That's visual. That can be considered art. When's the last time you've seen something that crazy here? And if you're out there and you say blood on the dance floor, that's not art. That's a crime. It's a fuck you. Babymetal's cool in my book. They're alright. They really are. If they're not cool in your book, why are you so worried? No, seriously, why are you? Please post it in the comments. I'd like to know. Maybe I will listen to it one more time. It's just so catchy, oh my god!